Alrighty, we are going to be playing the next iteration of Obosh Burn. What can I say? I've been liking the usual burn package: Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt, Rift Bolt, Skewer the Critics. It's all effectively 1 mana, but I'm not necessarily super cold to Chalice either, because this is all effectively 1 mana, but it's not all actually 1 mana, but it does result in the deck just being kind of obscenely efficient. And that also makes Bomat Courier quite like astonishingly good, just very unusually good, because when literally like everything costs 1 and you empty your hand like super quick, this Bomat Courier really just kind of goes to town, and you can draw like a gazillion cards. Of course, Experimental Synthesizer. I think you've seen this in previous versions. It's an all-star in these Urza Saga type decks in red, because you, especially when you have like basically all 1-drops, because other than Rift Bolt, you can, or Skewer if you don't have a Spectacle, you can basically just play this after any time after turn 1 with almost impunity, because you're basically, as long as you remember to do it before your land drop, you're guaranteed to basically either rip a land off the top or a spell, which is pretty good. Plus it grinds, plus it juices the Urza tokens. No Swiss Beer this time, so it doesn't necessarily give prowess triggers with Swiss Beer, but it's still pretty good. It's still very good, actually. And I've really been liking the Bomat Pyrite Spellbomb Relic package. Even though Relic seems kind of out of place in a burn deck, at the end of the day, it still draws us in 2 more burn spells, if nothing else. But it can also just be a great disruption tool against 2 more Living End, against other graveyard decks. It's just does a lot of good stuff for us. And Experimental Synthesizer, already went over that. The burn package, Spikefield Hazard. I mean, when you're packing 24 lands and in this format of like Ragavan and DRC and even Esper Sentinel to some extent too, like there's just so many good 1 toughness creatures. Having one of our lands, even if it has to come into play tapped, double as a 1 mana burn spell just seems to provide a lot of value, and especially in a burn deck, seems kind of like a no-brainer to me. And of course, Ramunap Ruins. Maybe we'll get to see that this league, but this definitely has resulted in me winning a lot of games I otherwise would have had a trouble clinching, because effectively you just have to get your opponent down to 4 life, for example, because I think in a lot of games you can probably expect to draw about 2 of these per game, and if you can get them on a 4 life and you have enough time to crack both of them back to back, then no matter how much control they exert over the game, unless they can finish you like right away or gain life, if you get them down to 4, then basically the game's over. Unless they have like Nimble Obstructionist, which some people do play, but I have seen it a little bit here and there, but it is definitely not the norm. And either way, they do have to have it regardless. Even if they do have it in their deck, they have to have it in their hand. And yeah, Ramunap Ruins has been surprisingly good. And Den of the Bugbear too. It's still mostly free. Sometimes it comes to play tap, but it's just ultimately mostly free. And the amount of games you win, especially under Chalice, by the way, sometimes this is our only out to Chalice, is they keep a hand that is mostly all in on Chalice, maybe counter spells, and then so they don't have like a lot of removal, then yeah, the Chalice is good. The counters mostly become redundant, because this isn't much in my hand that you can counter that isn't 1 mana. But then Den of the Bugbear, can sometimes just win the game on its own. And what can I say? It's just far from me to say Den of the Bugbear has not been just almost free and just such a good option to have here. Urza Saga, of course, this is an Urza Saga deck. What do you expect? The fact that it can go grab Bomat Courier or Pyrite Spellbomb, which are the 2 most common fetches, is just kind of great in this deck, because against like control decks or other decks that don't necessarily put a lot of creatures on the board, just plopping more creatures on the battlefield, especially creatures that could potentially draw cards. And also, by the way, if you produce like 2 Urza tokens and then a Bomat Courier, you kind of have to make like a Sophie's Choice if they have limited removal, because the Urza Saga tokens are bigger, and they also shrink when you deal with them, so they're the normal kind of preferred target. But Bomat Courier drawing a bunch of cards kind of incentivizes them to go after Bomat Courier as well. So 1 of 2 things could happen. Either the Urza Saga tokens can live and continue to grow, or the Bomat Courier might continue to attack and accumulate more cards. So overall, though, Bomat Courier just fits this deck quite like a glove. And Relic, again, as I explained, still works in this deck, and especially since you can grab it off of Urza Saga. And ultimately, at the end of the day, playing it in the main, it is just another card that could juice Urza Saga and can draw cards, and And it also frees up. The main reason to play it in the main though is that you can free up slots in the sideboard. But there, make no mistake, there's a lot of matchups like Living End and even Dredge, and you just, and especially with Urza Saga, just being able to consistently find it more, you manage to actually have an amazing matchup against a lot of graveyard decks that you just would absolutely be stone cold to in game one, like Dredge for example. So you know, there is certainly something to be said for playing against the main, and I've been impressed, needless to say. Shattering Spree is kind of a must when you got Chalice of the Void. Remember, Chalice does not counter the replicated copies. Just remember, you have to replicate it at least once to deal with the Chalice, because it'll counter the original spell, but it does not counter the copy that is placed directly on the stack when you pay the ability. It can also get around counter magic if you suspect your opponent's holding up counter magic. Just replicate it one more time than the number of counter spells you think they have. So if you think they've got, or just replicate it. Yeah, I should say replicate it the amount of times you expect them to have a counter spell. So if you need to deal with an artifact and you suspect they have one counter spell in hand, then pay 2 and replicate it once, because then they can only counter one of the copies, and so forth and so forth. Mages of the Moon. I know it seems like a little bit of a non-bow with Urza Saga, but I mean, like, we could play like what do you call it, Alpine Moon, but Alpine Moon does not hate on Amulet Titan nearly as much as Mages of the Moon, and and other decks too, and plus Mages can just like straight mana screw a lot of decks, and at the end of the day, I think the overall power of Mages mitigates in favor of playing it, but also B Mages is aggressive. It has a body, which in an aggressive deck like this is very, very good, needless to say, to potentially get some damage out of our moon effects. We can also play it into a Esper Sentinel without them drawing a card. We can play it into one untapped blue mana into Spell Pierce. Thankfully, there's no 3 mana Spell Snare type card, which would be kind of nuts if you think about it. But there is none. And yes, Urza Saga, and and I guess finally, you can play this with Urza Saga sometimes. Like if the matchup is one that is both particularly soft to Urza Saga and particularly soft to Mages, then you can absolutely play both, because if both are just pretty haymakers in their own right, then who cares if you can't play them at the same time, or even if you have to lose an Urza Saga to cast like one Mages or something, because if it's good enough, then what can I say? Who are yeah, you might have a little bit of a non-bow, but if you're winning, right? Plus you can also, but in matchups like Hammer Time, for example, where Urza Saga is both not as impressive because you can't necessarily afford to keep tapping all your mana, and because you absolutely have to play Blast Zone. You can take out the Urza Saga, play Blast Zone, and play Mages, and then the Mages won't blow up your Urza Saga. It does turn off the Blast Zone, but at least it doesn't blow it up. And you can always kill your own Mages to either A, turn on your Urza Saga if you leave it in, or B, turn on your Blast Zone if you swap them out. You can also bring in Blast Zone and Urza Saga, but I think the only deck where that might come up is Death Shadow, where those decks can kind of grind on a bit, and both Urza Saga and Blast Zone are kind of uniquely pretty well positioned. But yeah, what can I say? Just keep an open mind, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, match 1. So this might end up going by kind of quickly, but yeah, first turn Bomat Courier. This hand might be a little risky, but I think we can make this hand work. Yeah, kill that Ragavan, keep getting in there with Bomat. And hopefully they don't deal with, yeah, that's a kind of a good sign that they're not dealing with Bomat Courier. We can hold up Pyrite Spellbomb, suspend Rift Bolt, and I think we're off to a fairly decent start. I tell you, if they still don't deal with Bomat, of course they deal with Bomat, I don't think it's worth sacrificing this. Or maybe I do. I do. I'm not 100% sure about that in retrospect, but I guess my thinking was on some level I need to outgrind. So we'll see. Yeah, let's try to Spikefield. Of course they Spell Pierce. That's fine, we'll just Spikefield again. Do this. Put Obosh to hand. Nice. Alrighty. Let's see if Obosh sticks. Of course it doesn't. They start drawing some lands and they don't have that much removal. Maybe our Bugbears get there, we'll see. We're flooding out a bit though. A little bit more for our liking. And of course they have lightning bolt. Alrighty. Yeah, let's do this, why not? Now let's continue the Bugbear trend. Alright, let's just do this. In retrospect, maybe I should have cracked the Relic in response, but I don't know. Yeah, because then we could have suspended that Rift Vault. Although, it's not clear how necessary that really would be. That was a bit risky of a line of play. We'll see. I have to keep drawing cards, which I guess makes sense because they need to get to a Murktide ultimately, and I think that's it. We are getting a bit mana flooded. I think I'm going to sacrifice Ramunap Ruins. Yeah, I keep going for it. I guess I'm going to have to block. Alrighty. Yeah, you know, because Ragavan connecting is just a little too much. Trying to be mana efficient here with Ramunap Ruins, but at the end of the day, you know what? I might be able to make something happen. Let's see. Bomat Courier. This would be kind of crazy if we can actually make something happen, but I'm not holding my breath. Let's see. Oh my god, did we get there? I think we got there. We can even sacrifice the Bomat Courier and sacrifice Ramunap Ruins. Okay, I was hoping to draw a land and a burn spell just for overkill, but alrighty. Alright, match 1, game 2. Obosh 2-hand. Let's keep Obosh here. So we usually do when we're playing. Yeah, let's Spikefield that. Good draw. Can't deny that. I think we need to get our Relic, because with Relic active, things get pretty good for us. I think we can be more patient with the burn spells. At the end of the day, we're just not under that much pressure if they can't draw Murktide. Okay. I'm surprised they blow it on their turn. Usually they try to play around Relic a little more, but you know, it's what it is. I think I'm just going to create some tokens. Yep. It's going to take a lot to drop Murktide this turn. Even if Fetch Land doesn't do it. Although it does get them surprisingly close. Fetch Land plus Mishra's Bauble would have got them there. Let's see. Hopefully I draw a land. Yeah, good. That way I can create a token and crack Relic. I don't know about this, to be honest. Oh, I guess yeah. See, you know what? Never mind. I think because I had the other Urza Saga still waiting in the rings, I think that was a good strategy. Alrighty. You know, I could bolt in response. I guess I will, because that can be just very annoying to deal with. That's fine. Surprised they're still going on the offensive. We'll see. Yeah, more relics. I think this league is partially showing just how great continuously fetching up these Bomat Couriers really can be. Yeah, let's do that. Because they're dead to burn spells next turn, in addition to having a good board presence. Here is a nice card. Can't deny that. But let's go for lethal, shall we? Okay, fair enough. If they're forced to chump block, well, I guess we drew lethal anyway. Alrighty, and cool beans. Oh, I guess I can't stack, but let's just do that. Alrighty, cool stuff. Alrighty, match 2, Obosh in hand. We'll keep it. What can I say? Hammer time. Hammer time. Well, as long as they don't go completely nuts right away, I might have a chance. Yeah, let's offer the trade. I think that's worth it in the long run. Need to play this in case they draw. That was a little risky of me, but I think I know what I'm going for. I want maximum Urza Saga tokens, and it turns out they don't draw a hammer this turn anyway, but they are going to draw a hammer shortly. Man, no burn spells. And unfortunately, if they equip that construct token, there's not a lot we can do, so we have to hope they make a token, and then nope. Yep. So, and I think I was just so utterly and completely stunned that they didn't equip the token in the face of Pyrite Spellbomb that I didn't crack this. And it turns out they didn't have another hammer, or either that or they were afraid of some kind of 1 mana. But either way, like, it just goes to show, just pay attention, because I could have capitalized on potentially a catastrophic misplay for them. But anyway, it is what it is. Alright, match 2. And let's go over how we sideboarded. And actually, I just realized that I don't think I went over how I sideboarded in the Murktide matchup. But to be fair, I'm 99% sure that I didn't sideboard at all. I don't bring in Shadow Spear usually against Murktide, and I don't bring in Pithing Needle, obviously, unless for some reason I suspect they're playing like multiple Jaces, and even then I'm not even sure. But yeah, here we took out Lava Spikes because this is a much more creature-centric matchup, and I didn't bring a Pithing Needle because they can equip the hammer without having to actually use the equip ability because of Sigarda's aid. Shadow Spear is not strictly necessary either, because they usually deal damage in such huge chunks, potentially at least. So we also took out Relic because they don't really play much graveyard hate. We definitely want Magus of the Moon, because that can hit their Urza Sagas, and if we really need to turn back on our Blast Zones, which we also took out Urza Saga for Blast Zone, and we took out the Lava Spikes for Magus, we can always kill our Magus and then turn back our Blast Zones on. And with Blast Zone and Magus, I feel pretty good about our chances here. So game 3, I'm pretty sure we're going to be sideboarding the same, unless I say otherwise. Okay, not bad. That might have been a little risky, but I'll take it. I'm a little surprised that they you know, let that through, but we'll see. Alrighty. Let's see if they block with Reality Chip. They do. I find that a little interesting in the face of a Rift Bolt staring them in the face, but I guess, you know, we'll see. Okay, they were hoping for another Zimmerman artifact. Thankfully, they did not get it. Thankfully. But we got Blast Zone anyway, so even if they did, it wouldn't have been an auto win for them. Oh man, it just keeps getting better and better. Fortunately, if they drop like multiple hammers, we could still lose. Getting a little scary. Getting a little scary, but they only have 1 card left. So unless they had a hammer in hand and they draw another hammer. Okay, good, that's not a hammer. I feel not so bad about this spot we're in. Let's offer the trade. You know, I maybe should have just blown the Blast Zone first, but we'll see. I can try to double block with Sokenzan, and I think I'm going to do that. Alright. Okay, well, I got the Blacksmith skill out of their hand. Yeah, I just decided to go for it right there, because I didn't want them to get Pithing Needle. Yeah, and I had to get that off the table, because with the Urza Saga just staring me in the face there. Too bad I had to pass up on the Experimental Synthesizer, but so be it. Yeah, that's not surprising. Good thing I blew the Blast Zone before that. Oh, and sometimes you're just a lucky SOB, right? Us, that is, this time. I mean, not gonna lie, that was the mother of all rips. You know, if we get frustrated when the opponent rips like a deity, we have to we have got to own it when that happens to us, and we just did. Alrighty, and this is looking pretty good. All right. Okay, match 2, game 3. Pretty sure the sideboarding is the same, and we'll keep this hand. Yeah, sideboarding is the same. This is a little bit of a risky hand because the Experimental Synthesizer, but we end up. I was kind of keeping this hand hoping they didn't have Esper Sentinel, so we could try to get there with Experimental Synthesizers, but we just turned out to rip lands anyway. It's mainly because the Shattering Spree is a pretty big game here. So, you know, gotta love it. Suspend Riftbolt. Pithing Needle on Blast Zone. I guess that makes sense. They must have a what do you call it? A Pure Steel Platinum. We didn't need to necessarily do this right now, but it's going to make going for a full Shattering Spree a little bit harder. All right, that's fine. Let's get Synthesizer game going. All right, cool stuff. So I am predicting a Pure Steel Platinum. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, even though I just didn't. Yeah. Let's see here. Because I think we want to wait until the Urza Saga it up. Yeah, I don't have enough mana for Urza Saga. Okay, fair enough. So guard is 8. If we can generate a chump blocker, which I guess we can with Experimental Frenzy, Experimental Synthesizer, whatever you call it. Yeah, let's kill that, I guess. So now, as long as they can't like deal with this, and as long as they don't have 2 hammers, I think we set up for the mother of all Shattering Sprees. We're making the mother of all Shattering. Okay, so well, good thing. Maybe we take this at 1. So I think we want to take both the construct tokens. Oh, we drew another one anyway. I'll leave up a mana. Yeah, we don't need to deal with the hammers, because this is in case they drop like a Pure Steel Platinum. We're making the mother of all Shattering Sprees, Jack. Can't fret over every hammer that drops. Okay, I'm gonna stop with the freaking Metal Gear Rising. Cringe. Alrighty. Yeah, seriously though, check it out if y'all. There's the mother of all like treasure troves of memes for this game called Metal Gear Rising. There's this boss character named Senator Armstrong, and it's just freaking hilarious. You have to see it to believe it. Alrighty. So yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, it is kind of patience is the name of the game here against Hammer Time. I find that in game 1, a lot of times we have to play it a little more risky, and I am just trying to finish this off instead of being too cute with cracking the synthesizer. Yeah, and now it's going to be kind of hard for them to wiggle out of this. Alrighty. Alright, match 3. Let's see how this one goes here. Ooh, if this is like a Rakdos midrange type deck, I think this is kind of one of our like best matchups, I have to imagine. Oh man, if they're just dropping Turox, then yeah, if they let these Bomat Couriers, okay, well they deal with 1, but kind of wonder if maybe I should have, you know, well, yeah, because I need to get a relic. I need to. Yeah, that's fine. I need to get a relic. Need to get a relic. Alrighty. Match, match 3, game 2. And you know, the Thoughtseize glitch strikes again. You play Ragavan. Yeah, when they start dropping Turox as blockers for either Bomat Courier or Ragavan, I think we're in pretty good shape. Alrighty, so I'm probably going to deal with Ragavan, I'm guessing. Well, not yet. Unless we get one more crack in before. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll crack this, I think, yeah. We could have went for burn, but you know, we could draw a 3-mana burn spell. Yeah, I like it. I think we'll just, yeah, do that while we have Spectacle. Okay, cool enough. Actually, we could have gotten lethal, but you know, you never know if they have some kind of like cling to dust or something, or collective brutality. So I guess I'm glad that I go for the higher upside construct play. Yeah, just trying to go for I guess go for the win right here. Alrighty. Okay, match 4, game 1, and I think did I sideboard? Did I go through the sideboard last game? I don't think I did, but honestly, did I actually sideboard? I didn't bring in Shattering Spree, didn't bring in Magus. I did bring in Relic though. Was Relic in the original? Let me see here. Yeah, or Blast Zone. Yeah, so Relic's in the main in this version. So didn't bring in Blast Zone, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't bring in Blast Zone. So yeah, I don't think I sideboarded in that matchup. So all right, let's get to it then. Yeah, so not bad. Alrighty, what is this? Something else here. Okay, so it's Coffers. Alrighty. Guess we might as well sack that since they don't really play much graveyard stuff. Yeah, I'm not super optimistic about game 1 because somehow we kind of petered out here. This could be the basis for some card advantage and some damage. We shall see. Let's go. But this is going to generate so much mana. I've got a feeling that Arcana Cruelty is in my future. Okay. Oh yeah, right. They've got that Umori or whatever. They've got that oddly not so played companion. So they can't drop Archon right off the bat. They have to like search for it. They have to like wish for it or something. But I don't know. Ooh, Diabolical Revelation, and I think I'm gonna see some spice. I think they're gonna show me an interesting card that I wasn't even aware existed. Let's see here. Alrighty. Yep. Alright, match 4, game 2. Let's remember to go over the sideboarding this time. Yeah, we definitely don't need Relic. So I guess, and Magus could be helpful. Yeah, Pithing Needle and Shadow Spirit. They can't be playing Planeswalkers because of the Mori, if that's what it's called. I am going to bring in Magus, and I'm not going to take out Saga because, hear me out, I feel like Magus alone could be good enough. It does a lot of work, I think, in this matchup, because not only are they a big mana deck where Magus turns off the mana producing lands, the big mana producing lands, but it also is a multicolor deck, so it can also possibly color screw them. But if I don't draw Magus, I could be in trouble, but I could also get there with just Urza Saga beats and fetching out Pyrite Spellbombs and Bomat Couriers and whatnot for beats. So like, I kind of like the idea of keeping Saga in case I don't draw Magus, or in case they deal with Magus. So, and so far I've been very pleased with my assessment of when when it's advantageous to keep Magus in despite still having Saga in. Like right here, we have Saga and Magus, but I'm gonna hope that Saga is good enough to take us there. What did we take from their hand? Took a Profane Tutor. Yeah. I don't think we needed to land Magus just yet. My thinking here is, okay, well they went for Cable Coffers. Alright, I think I have to just drop Magus right now, because Coffers could just be a little too insane. I can't mess around too much more. And the Dashing Ragavan can definitely be good for speeding up the clock. Gotta love it. Okay. Alright, match 4. Game 3. Same sideboard configuration. Let's go. Alrighty. Yeah, might as well Bomat it up. Definitely very glad to have access to these Magi in the sideboard. I'll tell you what. Some matches like this, it's well, suddenly my feelings about where we stand are definitely not as good. I could have played, Rift Bolt, but we'll see. Yeah, do that because I want to play Sokenzan next turn. Let's see. They're going to get Cable Coffers, I think. But might still be able to get there with just out aggroing them. And if we do, I think that's a very good vote of confidence in this concept. I like it. Now, maybe that was a mistake, and I should have gone for face, because I could have brought them down to 4, and technically they're dead to double Ramunap Ruins. But we shall see. Calling Ritual. Alright, it is what it is. Sometimes you just rip Magus. Now they might have actually had a Fatal Push in hand. They might have just been like, oh man. But we'll see. But yeah, this is the power Magus right here. It just completely turns around a match that we were otherwise losing. They probably have some way to gain life. So realistically, the strategy of leaving that Amoria on the table may not have gotten there. See, they can deal with this, but now they died in my Ramunap Ruins. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Gotta love it. And this is one of those games where Ramunap Ruins gets us there. Alright, match 5, game 1, and this one is for all the marbles for a potential 5-0. Although I'm probably gonna put, if I got a 5-0, not in the title like I've been doing lately. It does just so happen that my videos with 5-0 results get more views when I put that in the title, which I don't just do this just for the views, but other things being equal, clearly there's more interest in it if people know that I got a 5-0. So you probably already know whether I got it or not, but either way, suspense is real. And since this appears to be Grixis Death Shadow because of Giganta, this matchup is definitely this matchup is a little more tricky than Rakdos Midrange, because the more we burn them, the more big their Death Shadow gets. On the other hand, we have more clump blockers in a traditional burn deck, so I think we can afford to A, burn them with more impunity, and B, because of Urza Saga's ability to grind, I think we can afford to play the grind game a little more with them. Yeah, I gotta get my chump blockers. Got the Bomat Courier for more chumps. Alright, I could block, but why do that just yet? I'm a little surprised that they didn't do this on the construct token, but I guess they were worried about the Bugbear, so I'll do that now, I guess. And they probably still have a removal spell, yep. Alrighty, it's a little frustrating, what can you do? Alrighty, match 5, game 2. Let's go over, let's pause this quick and go over sideboarding. I think we want to play the grind game. So basically, we just take out Lava Spike for Blast Zone, and that does make us a little bit mana heavy. But since Spikefield Hazard has so many targets between DRC and Ragavan and whatnot, I think we can more or less count this as a spell. And then we only have 24 lands, and Urza Saga is almost like as much value as a straight up spell too. So you can think of it like we actually just have 20 lands, and even those 20 lands have a lot of utility. So I think we live, to quote a certain Arnold. Alright. It's from Terminator 2. And, well, whatever. They break into the mental health facility. You promised you wouldn't kill anybody. And the Terminator shoots the guy in the leg and says he'll live. Alrighty. Okay. I'm gonna try to kill this thing while I can. I just think that's... Oh, never mind. I thought I was gonna try to kill that thing while it lived, but I guess I want to get full value out of Urza Saga. I was definitely... I just missed creating a token. I just straight up missed creating a token, man. Oh god. And I just straight missed cracking Relic too, or even just tapping it. I must have been like trying to play during a call or something. Whatever is going on here, you know, as you guys know, this is just mind-bogglingly unusually sloppy from me, so I do apologize for that one. I mean, there are so many better plays available, but the crazy thing is I think I'm still going to get bailed out by the deck, and I think I'm still going to win this. Yeah, especially with this Bomat cashing in for like a gazillion cards. Yeah, let's do this. Kill with Pyrite. Go from there. I mean, we got them almost close to lethal, but, you know, I think with this Bomat, we're still in pretty good shape. I think I'm going to draw. That is usually, by the way, the correct way to deal with Bomat Courier is do it on their upkeep to minimize card draws. But I still think it's correct for me to just wait until they blow it, because it effectively is one extra card advantage when they use a removal spell, and I still draw. Alrighty. Yeah, this puts me in a little bit of a precarious spot, but that's the cool thing about having Obosh is when you start flooding out, you just put Obosh to hand and try to go from there. And I think I'm gonna drop Obosh because most of their removal, I think, unless they have actual Terminate, Drawn in the Lock doesn't do it. Unholy Heat doesn't do it. They need like double Bolt or Bolt and Kolaghan's Command or something. Yeah, there you go. But maybe that means the Den gets there. We'll see. Nope. I mean, bringing them out 1 though means that they're dead to the Ramunap Ruins. Yeah, that's insane that the power of this deck bailed me out from such horrendous misplays. All right, match 5 in game 3. We're on game point. So let's yeah, this can is definitely keepable with the Ragavan and everything. So far, it seems like I've had a pretty good amount of keepable hands. Good thing we have the Relic. Yeah, let's do that. Now, if they play, okay, good. I was worried about them dropping a land, and and engineer explosives, but thankfully they did not. And with that, I think we're in a pretty good spot here. I do want to maximize the amount of, artifacts I have laying around. Yeah, let's do this. I can hopefully get maximum value out of the Sagas. And we might just be able to just kind of bulldoze with the Saga tokens, depending on what exactly they have. If they have Dress Down, then obviously there's not going to be a lot of bulldozing. But if not, there definitely might be a lot of bulldozing. Surprised I didn't get Bomat Courier. I'm not sure what my thoughts was exactly. Okay, that is definitely not Dress Down. That is a lot worse than Dress Down, so I will absolutely take that. Okay. Alrighty, well they're basically dead to end it. Oh, they're just straight up dead right now. Just straight. Yeah, we can even pay this and double Pyrite. And there's the trophy. Sweet. Oh man. Alright, post-league wrap-up. Well, hey. We got the trophy, what can I say? Yeah, so where I stand right and now is that all of these cards seem pretty good. But I'm doing this off of a previous saved screen, so please excuse me for not being able to pull up the cards. But I have just been advised that Galvanic Blast might fit this deck like a glove, and might be, for example, a good alternative to either Lava Spike or Skewer the Critics or Rift Bolt, or but Galvanic Blast has a real potential to be a powerhouse, dealing 4 damage in this deck. So the next iteration, I'm probably going to try to incorporate that. And but hey, what can I say? There's not a lot to complain about with this version. But just because we got a 5-0, it doesn't mean we might be able to improve this even further. But what can I say? The main thing I've liked about this deck, and the main thing that I think gives us quite a bit of power here, is this really brings a lot to the table, like those old Obosh prowess decks that I played back when prowess creatures weren't as how can I say, before Fury and before small creatures were not as uniquely kind of not well positioned. I had the ability to potentially win quickly, but then also grind out if the game required it. And it just turns out that Urza Saga is probably the only card that really allows us to both put on a lot of pressure early if we need to, but also kind of grind in the late game. If we don't necessarily want to go for pure grind, we can, for example, just produce 1 token and then go grab a Pyrite Spellbomb or a Bomat Courier or something, or we can just play no tokens and then just use the colorless to cast, Bomat or Relic or something. Although a lot of times producing at least 1 token can dish out a decent amount of damage. But the point is with the regular burn package and all this, we have the ability to go for quick wins, but then we also have the ability to grind. And unlike with Seasoned Pyromancer, we don't necessarily have to. It doesn't have this awkward kind of waiting around for us to empty our hand of burn spells before we play it type of thing. And it's also just we don't have to take off so much time. Like Urza Saga, yeah, it takes a land drop, but at the end of the day, it doesn't slow us down from burning our opponent out if that's when we want to be on. So for a lot of reasons, I think it turns out that if you followed, I'm not sure if this went up or not, but the first iteration of this type of idea was trying Seasoned Pyromancer in burn, and I do think Urza Saga has proven itself definitively to be the better card to fill what I was trying to do with Seasoned Pyromancer, and man oh man does this card fill that role very well. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. It's been quite a blast, and take care, everybody. And yeah, this I recommend you all try this out, or something like this. This is such a blast. But consider also trying to squeeze Galvanic Blast in there. Yeah. So all right, everybody, take care.